Zach Meslani now making his way to the stage. Meslani in the black and white. Expect fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Veritable dream team of killers.
Him and JM
Yes, sir.
holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Great technique. He's
He's a beast. He's a savage.
excellent coaches, I have to say. Great guys, JM and Zach.
That's a beautiful.
Great guys, JM and Zach.
Veritable dream team of killers.
He's a beast. He's a savage.
Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem. It's 10th Planet Bethlehem. It's a bit.
Great technique. He's
It's 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Turn it up. Yes, sir. What up? Zach's Corner Podcast. I think we're number 14, so hopefully I didn't mess that up, but sounds we're on number 14, which is pretty cool. 14 episodes. Woo! Lucky number 13, not 14, right? Yeah, so it's 14 quinceañero. No, maybe that's 16. I have no idea, but regardless, welcome to Zach's Corner once again. The holidays and a lot of things happened over the past 2 weeks. Really kicked my ass, so I've had time to do a podcast. I just either forgot about it or have been slacking. So needless to say, here I am. I don't even know. I should get the calendar out and go back. Big life events going down for Uncle Zach here. I got married. My beautiful wife, Kat, who is now my wife, which is pretty cool. And I don't have to say fiance anymore. We were just talking about that other day. It's kind of weird to say fiance. I like saying wife better. You know, my wife, she did this, or my wife did that. Yeah, so it's really cool. We didn't do like a big wedding like a lot of people do. We just did like a normal, not normal. I guess it's not normal because, you know, some people were kind of upset. And I think they were just upset that they wanted to be a part of the big party and they wanted to come and celebrate with us. But we ended up having a small little, like super small, because it was honestly just me and Kat. We went to the Justice of the Peace. Or not Justice of the Peace, I keep saying that, but it's not the Justice of the Peace. It's just a magistrate in Easton, Pennsylvania. She was dressed nice. She looked like gorgeous. I had a suit on like I always wear, same one. And I had my little Irish hat on, and we went out and we got married. And the only one that was there was the magistrate and the district magistrate. And Ross the boss was there, took some epic photos if you guys saw him on the gram. Man, it was awesome. Like I was just really happy to get married and just do it this way as opposed to having like a huge wedding, because everything now is a trap. Like the wedding, like, oh yeah, sure. And one of the things I was really pissing my wife off was the caterer was having a little bit of a tiff with the venue that we're going to get married at the banana factory. And then after that, the caterer, they finally agreed to do it. And then after that, they wanted us to rent plates. And it's just like, we're not renting plates. This is getting ridiculous. Like, we just want to have a party for our family. So we didn't rent plates. We just decided, get the job done. It's kind of more our style. We did have a party for our family. So our families got to get together and meet each other and hang out for a little bit. We had that at one of our favorite restaurants, and that's Stefano's in Bethlehem. I think there's another Stefano's too, but the Stefano's in Bethlehem is the GOAT. Brick oven pizza, and that's what she wanted all along. She wanted to have pizza at our wedding, so that was accomplished. Like I said, there was only like 35 people there. We ended up going out to the Brewworks afterwards. Our actual wedding day, we had a great day. So it was just awesome. So nothing wrong with having a big, huge wedding. Listen, if I had $120 million in the bank, or even if I had, 50 grand in the bank, we could have did it, a little bit better. And, I know her dad was willing to pay for it too, but man, that would have got expensive. Once it start getting up there for like, 20, 30 grand. And I know a lot of people have weddings like that. Man, it's just insane. And we decided, we'll do it more low key and we could get on with our lives. We have our 2 little baby dogs that we love very much. And we're going to go on a nice vacation. I think we're going to go on a little trip to the Finger Lakes. Just me and her, have my mom watch the dogs. And then also we're probably going to go to Alaska for our honeymoon. We got to start a savings account for that and then, build that up too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just really pumped about being married. We had, what did we have? The tournament, did we have, no tournaments. We had the Finishers MMA 10th Planet Bethlehem holiday party, which was awesome. And that was at we had Jokes for Chokes. That's what I was thinking of. But let me get to the holiday party first. We had our annual holiday party, which we always have. This year was the second year we had it at a brewery, Weyerbacher Brewery. I think next year, and shout out to Weyerbacher, solid craft beer in the local Easton area. But we are going to go to probably another location for next year. I'm thinking of ideas. And we're going to do that. But the holiday party went off. We got to give out a lot of belts. A bunch of our guys, JP, Billy, Jerry, Jim, a lot of guys who have been there, from the beginning. And they're just, they work regular jobs. They're regular dudes. They're not trying to make jiu-jitsu their life, but they train consistently twice a week, every week. They barely miss. And when they do, it's because they're buying a house or getting married themselves. But all of those guys have kids. They got full-time jobs. They have families. And you know what? They're not making excuses. They're just making it in. And they don't come 3, 4, 5 times a week and blow their stack. They come in twice a week, and they've been training for 5 years now, most of them. So they've been blue belts for like 3 years. And we were able to give all those guys their purple belts, which was really dope. I gave out a couple of blue belts when we got back to the school. Dave got his blue belt. Talus got his blue belt. Gave one to Austin Petro. I think that's how you say his last name. Beast wrestler out of K-Town. So, the guys, some of the blue belt guys are, the white belts are picking it up quick. A lot of guys still need a lot of work. That's okay. You just need to put more time training in. And when I say more time, more mat time, it doesn't mean 8 times a week. That means consistently 2, 3 times a week for a long period of time. So pumped about that. And we also give out a brown belt. Mr. Tom Sellumore, he got his brown belt. He trains with us. He's been training with us forever. Back in the old days when there were holes in the walls, Tom's been coming around, had a crazy arm injury, and came back from that, and has just been training, teaching over at Woodbridge. He was just down there training with John Battle and the fam. So shout out to Tom. He deserves that brown belt. I know he'll be a black belt one day. Who else? Oh, and me and JM were able to give out our first black belt. And, some people did criticize it and shit, but all you got to do is roll with the man, John Thor Blank. We're able to give him his black belt, and he's going to be on the quintet team. I know we already talked about that on the Finishers podcast. It's going to be Gio, Boogie, Thor, Vinny Magalaheas, and then one other guy to be named later. Probably going to be either Kyle Boehm or Kyle Chambers, because we need another big guy in there. And, I get to go along for the ride, and hopefully it's in Japan or Zimbabwe or some crazy-ass place I've never been to, and I get to go there, and I don't have to compete. I get to go and watch. That was epic, brought tears to my eyes, give John his black belt. He was super pumped. Yeah, now we have a black belt under us, which is epic. I would have never thought of that. When I was a blue belt back at Team Hammer, I just wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known that it could have gotten to this level. Sure, you think it can, and you think things can get to a certain spot, but you really have no idea. You just have to keep grinding and just keep pushing forward and just stay the course, And that's something that me and JM always did. Like, we never complained. I mean, maybe we complained a little bit, but we never complained about the situation we were in because we knew it was only up to us. That's what we've been doing. We've been just leaving it up to us and making it work. There's a lot of people that have been instrumental. Obviously, Eddie Bravo. Obviously, my wife. Obviously, other people have helped us along the way from the school. Obviously, Big L. JM's grandfather, Carl, like all the guys who were there for us in the beginning who really stepped up and believed in us. Because there were a lot of people who didn't believe in us and thought, oh, what are we going to do when these schmoes, go bankrupt? And we never went bankrupt. Haha, we almost did. We almost did when we were out in Vegas one time. We went out to Gracie Worlds and we had like $150 to our name and had to pay bills. So we were like saving up dough. We were eating just pizza. And in Vegas, if you've ever been there, everything is freaking expensive. So screw Vegas. But actually, I love Vegas, that's where the site of one of the next quintets could be. So, yes, excited for that. What else happened? Oh, we did the JM and Mike Fauerbach from Never Again Radio ran a Jokes for Chokes. And I'll tell you what, it was interesting doing stand-up for the first time. We did, if you guys don't know, we did an event where we did stand-up comedy for charity. And we raised $4,100 for the Fight for the Forgotten. That's Justin Wren's foundation where they build wells in Africa and bring water to people who don't have water. That's crazy. Like, we're over here complaining like, well, I'm not my next belt yet, or whatever the situation is. Like, oh, I can't believe it. It's cold out. Fucking people don't have water. Like, not forget food. They don't even have water, clean water to drink, which is gross. They're out there hunting animals and shit like that still. And we're over here bitching about, whatever. Who knows? My car being, oh, my car's in the shop. Yeah, well, they don't have water to drink, you fucking guy. So it was really cool to do that. And so that was the most important thing. Thank you to everybody who showed up for that. Shout out to Mike Firebach. Never Again Radio. Their podcast is back. He really was instrumental in doing that. And it was JM's idea. And I have to admit, it was an awesome idea. Yeah, the Jokes for Chokes. I came up with the name, but Tyler Rothrock, a couple other actual comedians came out, but me, Thad Frick, Brian McLaughlin. If you guys don't know Brian, he's actually Jim Miller's jiu-jitsu coach, owns his own school, Precision, out in Poughkeepsie. That was the day after I got married, so it was just party situation after every party situation. So although I love parties, I am glad all that's over, done with the drinking alcohol and Marky Mark buying us shots of tequila where I wanted to die. Now we are back to grind mode. And, I still trained, obviously. Like, I had all this stuff going on, but I was still sneaking in my training, while you guys were sleeping. I was out here, getting married, doing stand-up comedy, having parties, drinking, Brewworks beers and craft beers and wine and Franklin Hills wine and all types of stuff. But I still got my training in, even though a couple of days I felt completely like shit because I haven't been drinking since I'm early 20s and I'm 35 now. But it was so much fun. It was cool to spend the holidays. Got to see our family, got to hang with my mom, my dad. Yeah, it was just cool to bring the families together. And like I said, even Jokes for Chokes, my mom and, my cousin, my sister came out for that. JM's family was there. And you know what? Stand-up comedy, it's interesting. I feel like I do a version of stand-up comedy. Although it's not as hard, I do a version of stand-up comedy at the jiu-jitsu school every time I teach class. But it's different because my audience, all the people there are kind of there to learn jiu-jitsu. And sometimes I bomb, though. I got to admit, I tell a lot of jokes in class that some people just absolutely do not get. And that's fine. That's fine. You're not a fan of some of my jokes, or some of the people just because of my age, the younger guys don't get my references. But I did tell two stories about the Waffle House, and once when I got arrested when I was a kid for marijuana. And then I told a story about a fight that I saw witness at the Waffle House when I used to live by one. So it was pretty cool. I got some laughs, and a couple people said I had really good stage presence. So I felt comfortable walking around, but I really need to, if I wanted to do stand-up, I really would need to work on my jokes. And if you notice now, it's not really jokes. Like, there is Mitch Hedberg, and there's guys like that who kind of just rifle off jokes over and over again. But for the most part, it's just people telling stories and finding funny ways to bring like, weird things or like touchy subjects into light, and then we can all laugh about it. So stand-up is really funny, or is funny. Obviously, it's really funny, but it was really cool to do. And I'm a big fan of stand-up. There's a lot of guys that I love from back in the day. But if you guys check out one of my buddies, one of the reasons why I got to meet Eddie Bravo in the first place and train with him is because one of my best friends from high school, Sean Green, moved out, and eventually my buddy Bill Roosh moved out to California too. And when I went out to visit him, I was able to stay at his house in Burbank, and I was able to take the bus by myself to 10 Planet headquarters, which was at the old Legends gym, the one that Boss Rutan and Randy Couture used to own, but were never there. Eddie started teaching there, and I started going there. I think I went 2 or 3 times that time, and then I came back, and I would get my ass kicked and do one roll and just kind of watch. But I was just mesmerized to see Eddie Bravo on the intranet and then also see him in person teaching. And he never really kind of remembered who I was, but he would be like, hey, who are you again? I'm like, oh, I'm Zach from, East Coast. And he'd be like, okay, Zach from East Coast. Where do you train? You a white belt? I'd be like, well, I train at Tiger Schulman's. And he's like, oh, karate guy? That's pretty cool. So Eddie always loved having guys come in from all over the place to try to learn the style. And then, look at this freaking, let's see, I was probably like 20, man, I had to be like 20 years old when I went there. And so some people were like, man, Zach, he probably got his black belt pretty quick, huh? Wrong. I've been doing MMA fights since, 2000, 2001, 2002. So maybe it was even 2003 where I flew out to California, and that was like 22 years old, and I'm 35 now. So I got some chime in the game, and I started grappling when I was 16. But I met Eddie when I was like, I think I was like 20 or 21, 22, somewhere in that range. And like I said, I'm 35 now. So, Eddie Bravo ain't giving out black belts like candy. So it's pretty cool. It's epic to be a black belt under him and to also keep with the lineage of John Jacques Machado and then also rank John Blank, Thor, to black belt, which is cool. So now it goes, John Jock, Eddie, me and JM, John. So, I'll be freaking crying one day when John gives a black belt. That'll be super epic. So yeah, just mad life events. And it's crazy. Like me and my wife were just talking how fast it's over. And now it's, it's back to work and back to, regular life and no more a million parties and stuff. But it just reminds me to like really be grateful and really be thankful for everything I have going on in my life now. And if you guys pay attention to my Instagram and Facebook and stuff, I'm constantly dropping stuff like me, JM, Maddie Bam Bam. It'll be his first really big super fight. And Alec Hubin are all going to be in the Rise Invitational. We all got matches. Hubin's in the tournament, and that is January 25th. So if you guys want tickets for that, hit me up. But we're competing. I'm running the finisher sub only, which is February 23rd and 24th. So if you're just getting into competition jiu-jitsu, the finisher sub only is a great tournament. It's run by all guys like myself and other EBI veterans that, sub only veterans that'll be reffing and doing the tables and all that stuff. We really make sure that, it's for the competitors. It's $60 till February, end of February, or end of January, and then beginning of February goes up to 80. We're moving it to Pure Mixed Martial Arts in Rockaway. Shout out to the Main Brothers. Both those guys, epic martial artists. They're not just regular dudes who do jiu-jitsu, like Mikey Main, high-level black belt, compete in everything, been in the finishers tournament before. Andy Main, former king of Pancrase, fought on The Ultimate Fighter. So we wouldn't take the place to some bum's gym. These guys have one of the most beautiful gyms on the East Coast, in my opinion. They're constantly upgrading stuff. And I really look up to the Main Brothers, man. They're cool dudes. They're always allowing me to come train. I'll be there Monday training, dropping off some flyers and stuff. And it's just really dope, man. It's dope to be working with guys like that. So if you never competed before, February 23rd, finisherjujitsu.com, check that out. February 24th is the pro show. We already got a bunch of guys lined up for that. I know Keith Krikorian's back in the 45, Brant Bosseron, Javier Guzman, Damian Anderson, Kevon Gonzalez, and we got a bunch of new guys too. Tim McNamara is in it. He was in it last time, but there's a bunch of super fights. We got Jess Feliciano coming in to take Sarah Manzangilio on in the women's super fight match. We got Eric Naples is back. Kevin Dantzler's back. Chris Crawford's back. There's so many guys that are back. We got a big super fight, Pierre Olivier Lecour. I think I said that. He's from TriStar. You guys know P.O. He's taking on Andrew Alexander. He's a brown belt from 10 Planet Grants Pass. Could be a black belt. Probably going to be one very soon. So that's going to be an epic matchup. Hoping to get Ray De Leon, maybe Battle, Padilla. Who knows? Just talking to all my boys, getting everybody in. So we're just trying to, keep pumping everybody up and do what the Finishers Tournament was meant to do. Get guys bigger opportunities and stuff like that. And speaking of opportunities, for all you guys out there being like, man, it sucks. Combat Jiu-Jitsu is only on the West Coast. And in New Jersey and New York, they only do it in cages and it's one round and it's stupid. Well, guess what? The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for me to drop Pennsylvania Combat Jiu-Jitsu. That's right. East Coast Combat JJ. If you're on Instagram, if you're on the gram, as the kids call it, it's PA Combat JJ, at PA Combat JJ. It's also same thing as the website, pacombatjj.com. We don't have much up on the site now, but if you fill out the form, put your name in there, put what weight you are. And yeah, I think hopefully at the end of March, April-ish, we're gonna run a show out here in Allentown, somewhere in Pennsylvania. It's gonna be the first ever PA Combat Jiu-Jitsu. We're gonna have some just regular Jiu-Jitsu super fights on that too. And then we'll have like 8 to 10 matches, Combat JJ, see how it goes. I got the mats coming from one of my sponsors who I'm also working for, Fuji Mats. And man, I'm excited for that. Like the commission is down with it. They're working with us right now. We're getting that all set up. And like I said, it's probably going to be in Allentown or Bethlehem. Just stay up to date for that. And I love being a part of all this and just trying to, people will come up to me and say, hey, thank you for what you're doing for jiu-jitsu and for martial arts. And that brings a tear to my eye too. I'm like, God dang, I don't even realize I'm doing this stuff. It's so much fun to run these events. And I feel like somebody needs to do it. And I just want to do it the right way, or the way that I think is the right way. Maybe you think I'm a jagoff and you don't like the way we do it, but kiss my butt. You feel me? Because we're doing it our way. So, and there are other tournaments out there too. You can definitely do all those. I know, Sapaterio and the Gamblers International is down there, Invitational. Got the Jacksonville, what is it called? The Open thing or whatever Brian Brown's running. That's like a 58,000 man freaking tournament. And then you got the West Coast. You got Ultimate Mat Warriors. Our Finishers champion is going to Mat Warriors. Shout out to Boogie. That's a good one out West Coast. And there's more sub-only events popping up. I like sub-only, even though you guys know I do the IBJJF, I do the ADCC. You know, I've done pro MMA. I want to do a combat jiu-jitsu match, even though I'm probably going to be running this one. So I just want to get involved in all of it, and I love this stuff. Like, eventually, you know, right now I work for Maverick, but if something ever happened to them, hopefully never, Willie will kick my ass. But if they ever did, I would love to run an MMA event or a kickboxing event or whatever. I just want to be, you know, one of the guys who is always trying to put on for everybody else too. Not only myself and my team, but I feel like I help out a lot of people too. And I appreciate the love from everybody, and I appreciate everybody stepping up, because we don't have a lot of money to pay people. You know, we just kind of raise the money as we go. You know, so if you guys know any sponsors, or maybe we'll put up one of those things where you could just donate money to the cause. Because we, you know, me and JM, we come out of pocket for stuff too. Like, we do pay for things that we pay out of pocket and we don't get paid back for it. And we don't even care about that. We just, because we know it's getting bigger. And like I said on one of the previous podcasts, we're playing a long game. So, what else? The Midwest, shout out to Omar down in Chicago, 10th Planet Lombard, is running the Finishers Midwest. So check out Midwest Finishers on Instagram. And if you're 155, you can get a super fight. Let's say you're closer to Chicago. You're like Pennsylvania, Jersey. Screw, I'm not going to Rockaway. Then go to Chicago. All right. You got another opportunity down there, and they're giving away dough. You know, everybody's paying to get in. So we're just going to keep it running, keep it moving, right? And keep doing it. So I don't know. Like, what else should I talk about? I got one of the presents we got I got to talk about this. One of the presents we got was from my wife's dad. Kat's dad got us a Breville coffee machine, and it is epic. It is like, it makes coffee. It's like $500, $600 machine or something like that. It makes lattes. It does everything. And I love this machine. Like, my wife is kind of like my personal barista now. She's out doing, because I'm afraid to use it yet. I got to figure out how to work it. I don't know what I'm doing. I never would have got a job at Starbucks, but yeah, we got that. We got some stuff. I don't know, I got some new stuff. We got some new rash guards and you know, I don't know. I got some cool things. I got some wine from, you know, I got what else did I get? Champagne. We got a whole bunch of coffee from people. You know, what else did we get? Preet got us a frame that has all of our wedding pictures on it. He went over to Ross's house, got the wedding pictures put on, and he gave that to me. So that's really awesome. And yeah, I just really felt the love, man. Like, we put up a picture of us getting married, and like 700 people liked it or some shit. That's epic. I don't even know 700 people. So thank you guys all for that. Thank you guys for the love, for everything. Yeah, I don't know. It just makes me feel really good about what I'm doing and where my life is headed. And if you guys know my story, it was kind of headed in the dumps for a long time. So you can always turn it around, man. You can be, like, it's corny, but that Joe Rogan thing, you could be the hero of your own story. And what he's talking about is right. You could wake up and your life is a shitbag disaster, and you could just turn it around. Yeah, there's that. All right, I'm back. Just had to take a quick little second. Wife just came through the door. Had to go through some mail. We got a new can opener. Really excited about that because our last can opener sucked. But to finish this off, I got one more thing. I want to do my little tip for the podcast, where I usually do like a business tip. And one of those is apparel business tip, right? So let's talk about your apparel. I feel right now, I'll just give you a little breakdown of what I'm doing. I have one guy that designs some stuff for me, and then he orders me a grip when I want to get ranked rash guards. Now, we got a pretty big school, but when I want to get like rash guards and shorts and stuff that are ranked, or if I want to do like a huge monster order, I get it from my boy Mike Mons from M85 Designs, and we get like 100 at a clip. So we have those to give to people for registration fees, give them out for free, and we also sell them too. So if you get, like, let's say, you know, JP, for instance, he was a blue belt, he got ranked up to purple. Now he's probably going to buy a purple belt rash guard, and so on and so forth, right? So we got those ranked ones. We get shorts right now, and I kind of like piecemeal from everybody. Right now we get shorts from Fuji. Fuji makes us shorts. They throw our logo on the front. They're just plain shorts that we can give out for when someone signs up. We charge a registration fee now, so that way, you know, it's $100, and then you get both rash guard, shorts, and then we have tights. I get them from, here's a place you can go to. It's called Zengu, Zengu. You can sign up there and get some stuff for wholesale. And then what I do is I get tights from Zengu, and it's usually like a 2-pack of 93 brands. And then I give out a pair of tights too. when someone signs up. So, start looking into companies like that. But if you really want some dope shit, it's going to cost you a little bit more. We go through a company called Cruise Combat, and man, Ryan's been helping us out over there forever, and they do custom stuff for us. So if you look at our Instagram and you see that baby blue new rash guard, the ones that say train or don't, we got that coming. We sell those. We got the red one, which everybody's been scooping because it's so cool. Short sleeve. They do tights. They do custom shorts, our train or don't, the crop fight shorts. Those are going to be more expensive. You're going to pay more because each one is individually made and it takes like a month to come in. But listen, once you get it done and it's all set up and the setup fees are taken care of, then you can just order as many as you want whenever you want, right? And Ryan's the man. He hooks it up. And what happens is you get really cool stuff. So even if you're not making a lot of money, your brand, your business, your team is out there, and if you have cool shit, other people from other places will want to buy it. So step up your apparel game. Like, it took us a long time to be able to get to the point where we can actually have stuff in stock. And then I would say for like t-shirts, like, we just want the Finishers MMA t-shirt, or you want like a Finishers or 10 Planet B-Town hoodie. You can also go to your local, go find who's local to you screen printing and go in there and talk to them and tell them what you want to do and tell them you want to keep certain things in stock. Like, we give out t-shirts all the time. So you want to have those in stock at your school to give people. You don't want everything online. You do want stock at your school. You want half stock at your school, or the main sizes and the main stuff that you can either give to people for free or people can buy. And the high level, more expensive stuff you keep online. You make people pre-order that shit so you're not putting money out, right? Nothing wrong with pre-orders, but some stuff you just want in stock because people do get annoyed. I get annoyed with pre-order. I order shit and I forgot it. I even ordered it and 3 months later it shows up. And Cruise Combat ain't 3 months, about a month. So that's my little tip for the apparel game. Start looking into it. If you need tips on it, hit me up. Maybe I can cut you in on a deal. But remember, if a nickel bag gets sold in a park, I want in. If you know what I mean. So besides that, I hope you guys had a great Christmas and New Year's holiday. And don't let people tell you like, oh, it's a new year, new me bullshit again. Well, guess what? Some people need something to motivate them. I do. I'll tell you what, it's corny. Like, everyone thinks I work super hard and I'm a nut and all this stuff. But every time a new year comes around, I stare at myself and I go, dude, it's a new year. You really need to step your game up. And it motivates me. It motivates me to get more healthy. It motivates me to get in better shape. It motivates me to get my business stuff on fleek. And I know it does for a lot of people too. So anyone who's saying who's talking shit on someone trying to start something new in 2019 probably is a bum and smokes cigarettes and sits on the couch and eat bonbons, right? So anyone who's trying to start something new, I applaud you. It's 2019. It's your time to get a fresh start. Screw last year. This is your year. So shout out to everybody. Love you guys. Zach's Corner Podcast. I'm out.
Black Belt CBD has you covered for all your training needs. CBDs are all the hype right now because of their natural way to reduce inflammation and pain. Black Belt CBD has CBD protein powder, pre-workout, capsules, Zach's favorite muscle rub, and many more products. Go to blackbeltcbd.com and use promo code FINISHERS at checkout for 25% off.
Hey everybody, this is Paul Maslaney, Zach's little brother. Some of you may know me, a lot of you probably don't, but that's okay too. I am Zach's podcast producer for Zach's Corner. I'm not the producer for Finishers. I produce podcasts for multiple shows. I am starting my own startup called PRM Productions. Anyone who's interested in starting their own podcast, producing a podcast, they need a podcast producer, they need someone to help them with audio for anything. I do a little bit of video production with it. We can get audio tracks and stuff up onto YouTube. Can also help out, there's one-time deals. We could do hourly rates. I have packages. They're all custom built depending on what you want and what you need. I can help with one episode. I can help sign on for a whole season. It's whatever you're looking for. Maybe you just want me to show you how to do the basics and help you launch your podcast. Then you can take over and do everything on your own. If you would like to hear any of my other work, I've produced all 3 seasons of a podcast called Leadership in Tech. The links for all of this will be in the show notes. I also produced another podcast called The Success Factor with Hernani Young. That was a short-lived podcast. He was trying to convert his book into a podcast, which isn't a bad idea, but I don't think he had the time for it. But any of you who want to make recording a podcast a priority, I could show you how to do it yourself, help you get started. I could help you run it and produce it if you want a professional quality podcast. But so you record your episode. A lot of people start off, they record one episode a week. Just tell me what you want done, and I will return to you your finished product. I can get it up, I can get it online, do your show notes, I can convert it to YouTube, I can get it on multiple platforms. There's other services are available as well. This is my first promo I'm releasing. You just give me the secret passcode, finish him, and we will finish it together at a discount with that promo code. Reference the show notes for my email address to contact me for an estimate, as well as for several links. Or if you want to reach out to me right away, my email is paul@salt.io. That's PAUL at SALT.io. Peace.